Yo, 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 everybody, what's up, what's up? Welcome in, welcome in. This is so weird. Welcome in, if you're hanging out with us tonight. I can't hear anything from what's going on with my computer right now. So, apologies. I'm gonna turn the music down because I just realized it's still high. If you can hear music right now, that is so cool. I cannot, but it's all good. Doesn't matter what's going on with me. Matters what's going on with all the other fellas hanging out with us tonight. Like Alexa, who's saying, Jake, do you think Terrifier 4 will be taking place in hell? An excellent question to start us off. But again, before we get into it, if the music is still too loud, let me know in the comments. I don't think it is. I just turned it down, so we should be good. And if you guys can hear me too, that's another thing. Let me know if you can hear my voice. If not, you know what? Maybe don't tell me. Maybe it'll be more fun if people are just like, you know, we're just gonna watch this guy and pretend we can hear him and pretend to give some responses. But you know, a little bit of technical difficulties. That's okay. We're still having fun. We hear you, but no music. Okay, that's, you know, at least you can hear me. That's what matters. But what's up, fellas? Alexa is saying Terrifier 4 taking place in hell. I'm all about that personally. I think taking place in hell, it makes sense, right? Especially where we left Terrifier 3. If you have not seen it yet, it is coming to digital. I think it already on digital this month, or is it a couple more days? I remember it's December 17th. It's coming out on physical. I want to say it's like November 20 something. So it's either coming out soon or whatnot, but soon you'll be able to check it out in the comfort of your own homes, which is really nice. But we're talking spoilers about it because it's been out for a while now. You know, you've had a chance to see it in multiple different countries, multiple different areas around the world. So we're just kind of we're at the point where we're talking spoilers for Terrifier 3 now. Yeah, no, it's definitely we're going to hell. You know, I mean, we made it pretty clear with that cliffhanger ending. We're going there, and I think with good reason too. This is going to be a film that feels a lot more like more like an Army of Darkness. Like I've talked about this before, but I think it would be so cool if it was Damien Leone's Army of Darkness, where it's a lot weirder than the previous 3 Terrifiers. Like if you get to the point where you get to where you just know what to expect from Terrifier, I feel like it's going to get kind of stale. It's going to get kind of dull. So now if we're going to hell, we have demons running around, you know, attacking Sienna as she's trying to fight for her sword and get Gabby in somewhere in the ninth circle. That to me is really interesting. That's really unexpected. That could really push some boundaries and be something completely different that we've never seen before. So I'm here for it, man. Let's go to the ninth circle, see what Terrifier 4 is all about there. But I do think we'll still have some Art the Clown shenanigans, because it's not Terrifier without a good David Howard Thornton performance, of course. So I do believe we're going to see him take out some of the members on the bus real early on. That's going to be our opening kill. We've set that up as well at the end of Terrifier 3, so it's going to be a lot of fun. That's Phil Falcone, by the way, for those who don't know, on the bus alongside that lady reading the Ninth Circle book. And he's one of the producers that basically made Terrifier what it is today. He also worked very hard on a lot of the special effects on Terrifier 2. Damien Leone taught him from his own hand, which is kind of cool. So he's one of the many people responsible for how fucking sick the sequel looks. So now he's going to get the treatment here in Terrifier 4. What is his death going to look like? That's one to start speculating about, I think, for sure. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to start talking about T4, man, once we get some more information. Terrifier 4 might be an origin story of Art the Clown, which, yes, David Howard Thornton has already talked a bit about that. I would like that, but just like Alexa Sullick, I think it will be in hell because of the ending of Terrifier 4. Yeah, and I think there's going to be like a dual storyline thing going on here. Right, there's going to be a little bit about like Art the Clown diving into his backstory, seeing what was going on with him in the 90s, and then following Sienna in the, where we currently are in the timeline, down to hell, hopefully to save her cousin. So I feel you on that. I think we're going to get a little bits and pieces of both. We can't just be, running amok in hell the whole time. That's not typically what Terrifier films do. We usually have split storylines. Infinite Sky has been a member for 14 months. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 7, 14 months. Thank you, my friend. I really do appreciate your support for that long. It means a whole bunch to me. The best way to support the page is becoming a member. You're saying, what did you think of the opening kill from Terrifier 2 when you first saw it back in 2022? It was brutal. A great way to get us back in the mindset of Terrifier. You know what I mean? We're seeing this guy get hit in the face with a hammer so many times. And it's a death that we've been waiting to see even longer than I think in between Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3. So it's kind of like, oh my God, yeah, they finally I almost forgot about that. I think you could go and see Terrifier 2 for the first time after seeing the first one and not expect them to pick up right where they left off. So it's kind of shocking. It's shocking to see this is one fluid story from start to finish. You could watch the first Terrifier to the third and you just see one long story, essentially. That's really cool to me. I love that they kept that continuous throughout 3 as well, which doesn't necessarily pick up right where we left off, but then the second big scene of the movie does, which is really cool. But I love that about Terrifier 2. It kind of makes Terrifier 1 and 2 just one long movie. But I love that, just picking up right where we left off. I think the first time I really appreciated that about a movie was, and this is this is a movie that doesn't get praised a lot, so it's nice to throw a positive at this one. Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Like, I remember going to the theater and seeing it pick up right where it left off from the previous film and being like, this is awesome, and then the rest of the film was too dark to see, but don't worry about that. But I loved that about those flicks. I love it about the Terrifier franchise. I hope T4 is no different. There's something about that. It just gets you right to where you left off from the last one. If you forgot anything from the previous film, it's almost like jogging your memory. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, right, I totally forgot about this bus sequence with Phil Falcone and this girl reading this book about where the plot's probably going in the next movie. I love that about Terrifier 2 as well. It brings us back to what we remember while also paving new ground for something fresh, a brand new story, which I love that. I love that opening scene of Terrifier 2. It does a lot. But it's more than just that kill, right? Because the laundromat sequence humanizes Art the Clown. That's so cool to me. It's like this guy who just viciously murdered all these people in that last movie and, the folks in the opening, dude's still got to do his laundry. You know what I mean? This is still a man underneath all of this. What is his story? I think you might not have asked yourself that question as much in the first movie as you did in the sequel, and it's because of scenes like that. And also the little pale girl's introduction is fucking crazy. She shits her pants in front of Art the Clown. That's awesome. There's so much to love about the opening of Terrifier 2. It is actually one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. Even after, not just the first time I saw it, but like now after so many rewatches, it's up there. It's definitely one of my favorites. I really I love Terrifier 2. One of my favorite slasher movies, if not my favorite of all time. Infinite Sky, again, thank you for being a member for as long as you have. So much love. So much love, my friend. EastVR is also a member saying, what's up, Lake? That's me. Joy Lake. The Substance just swept the Astros, so there's a very high chance that it gets into picture, getting some more awards. I hope it does. We were just talking about The Substance. We just filmed a skit, my buddy Darjan and I, for the Thanksgiving video coming out this week. Look out for that. And we were talking about what's our favorite horror movie of the year, and The Substance just kept getting brought up. I'm like, dude, The Substance is number one. I'm telling you, it's so good. He argues Smile 2, which I respect. Smile 2 fucking rocked as well. I loved Smile 2. But The Substance, man, it is so special. The performances across the board are great. There's really only 3 main characters, too. And all 3 of them are just at the top of their game. Like, the very best performances I have seen from all 3 of these actors, which might be a hot take. I don't know. Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, and Dennis Quaid, all just phenomenal in this film. And it's more than that. It's more than performances in this flick, even though that is probably one of my favorite parts. But to get a little more selfish here, the body horror of this film is upsetting as fuck. Oh my God. Any deserve it ends up winning. Any reward it ends up winning is totally deserved. Flip-flopped my words there a bit, but The Substance rocks. If you have not seen it yet, I could not recommend this film more. It's gonna be hard to top this one for favorite of the year. And this is, we're talking about the world's biggest Terrifier fan here. Fucking love Terrifier, and I think I like The Substance even more, which is crazy to say. RJ Skarenki, thank you for being a member too. What's up, my friend? What's up, Jake? Any more Scream 7 news coming out? Little things here and there. We have this fella named Brittany Vinyl talking a little bit about how there's gonna be like a dual storyline thing happening in this flick. I don't know. I mean, personally, I've seen this fella, I think he's just an excited fan, whoever this guy is. I've seen him post things that I just knew weren't true about Scream 6 that ended up being totally BS. So I think he's a very excited fan. You know what I mean? I think that's awesome. So I don't know if that's necessarily something to trust or something I'm going to make a big video about. I kind of already talked about the idea of a dual storyline in my last Scream 7 video. But that's kind of like that's the last thing I really saw a bunch of people talking about. I've been, this past weekend I celebrated my girlfriend's birthday, so I've been totally out of the loop. Not gonna lie, you guys probably know more about Scream 7 at this point than I do if anything happened over the weekend. But last we heard, we got a casting update, which was so exciting from Daniel Richtman. And we also know about like 2 new characters. One is like 100% confirmed. One is like a maybe, but probably. Which is really cool. So that's exciting to me, and I know we'll probably get more casting announcements to follow, hopefully, if they are planning on filming this thing soon, which that's the plan as of right now, and I really hope they stick to that, which would be nice. Let's get this film back on track, fellas. But RJ and Easty VR and Infinite Sky and all you fellas, thank you so much for being members. Hello, Five Nights at Freddy's Movie 2 fan. You're watching Wicked today. Enjoy. I did a little Wicked. I'm not going to review Wicked, but I made a skit on it, so that's something. Universal Disappointment is saying, clocked out for my break, clocked in for Jake. Love it, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're also, Cindy Prescott is also watching Wicked today, gearing up for her next Ghostface encounter, watching Wicked. Very nice. Enjoy. Enjoy. I hope it's good. The letter A for anus is saying, locked in for Killjoy cake. Love how we got the anus joke in there with another butt joke. It's excellent. I'm getting called Lake, Cake. Who knows what else? Jake the Snake. Who knows what else Jake could get called tonight? Dickhead, lots of different names. Marley Kai 2000 is saying, hey, early stream. I bet Jake can't wait to see Art's Cake come to digital tomorrow. That is tomorrow. There we go. We got it confirmed from Marley Kai here. I'm hyped. I want to see Terrifier 3 again. I actually saw it in theaters again for a new video I made. One that like double checks a few things, and the only way to watch the movie like a week and a half ago was at the theater. So I'm excited to watch it on digital soon. Sammy Verse is saying, hey, what's up, everyone? I almost forgot the everyone. What's up, Sammy Verse? Welcome in, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Ashley S, thanks for being a member. Hello. Ashley's been here for a long time. She's awesome. Ashley's been hanging around the Killjoy camping grounds, I guess. Is that where the cult likes to hang out? The Killjoy camp. Jagman with, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger doing this in front of a stop? I love it. Hello. What's up, my dude? What's up? Welcome in. 44-4G. It sounds like you accidentally put your password as your username. Is saying, I hope you're having a good day, Jake. Terrifier 3 releases tomorrow on digital. Finally get to watch it once again. I guess everyone just knows this, except it's literally my job to know this, and y'all are killing it out here. Y'all are doing a great job. Yes, enjoy it when it comes out tomorrow. Go give it a watch, give it a rent. See what it's all about. Faith Dorn, what's up, Faith? How you doing? Hey, Jake, hey, chat. Hope everybody is having a great Monday. I know I am, so I hope you are too. We got a big holiday here in the States. It's Thanksgiving week, so if you guys are celebrating Thanksgiving, have so much fun. Have the best Thanksgiving ever, if I forget to say it later on. But I will be live on Wednesday right before Thanksgiving too. If you need a break from your family, if you're listening to them going crazy political rants this week, maybe you just want to escape into a disgusting cave in West Virginia for this week's Descent watch party. Come on by. Come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing that at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. I see those super chats. You guys are fantastic. Really do appreciate your support. Gonna get to those in just a second. Want to say hi to a few more friends hanging out with us, like Reaper Kid saying Patrick Dempsey is close to being confirmed. This is some Scream 7 news, kinda, I guess. Daniel Richtman also just put out recently that Patrick Dempsey is closing in on a deal for Scream 7. So we should be getting that news sometime soon. I'm kind of, where I'm at is like, I'm just going to wait to talk about that until the news breaks, right? But that's not 100%. It's not 100% yet. He still could be like, fuck you, Spyglass. And no, not doing that. But probably not. We hear you, but no music. I read that earlier. Superman is saying, Jake, how are you doing today? I am fucking fantastic. Unbelievably fantastic. Did you guys really think you were going to come into a Killjoy Jake stream and I wasn't going to swear? Come on now. The Poop Lady, it's the Poop Lady's birthday, so we've been celebrating all weekend. Been a ton of fun. Thanks for being here, Poop Lady. She's at Olive Garden right now, enjoying some delicious food. I'm a little jealous. The family kicked me out of that meal. They wouldn't let me come to that. So I decided to stream instead and cry. There's no unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks here, but at least I have friends. At least I have friends here, and that's what makes me so happy. The letter A stands for Arthur the Clown now, saying breaking the fourth wall. How did, that happens in Terrifier 3. How do we feel about that? I'm curious. I'm kind of not, personally, I'm not crazy about it. It kind of felt like a Deadpool moment rather than an Arthur moment. Okay, I think I said hi to most people. I didn't say hi to Wayne, though. It's 11:06 a.m. Tuesday. Wayne is from the future in Australia there. During a heat wave, I am not looking forward to working Black Friday. Ooh, that sucks balls, my friend. Well, listen, Killjoy Jake is wishing you so much love and so much good wishes for a Black Friday extravaganza. I hope it's probably not as bad in Australia as it is here in America. We're just stomping over people, getting those deals, getting those waffle irons, as a little Thanksgiving reference there for you. It's crazy. It's intense. I don't go anymore. I don't I don't do it. I do Cyber Monday right here in this chair. It's fantastic. It's a lot more chill. But no, that's nice to hear, man. I really hope that you make some good money and it's not too crazy and you get through it, my friend. Steve Neal is headed to Gladiator 2. Is it a horror? A horror of a rehash? Oh, shit. So it is a horror movie then. Dear God, Steve Neal. That's terrifying. Truly terrifying. Ty Lee is a member as well. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your support. The substance is greater than Smile too. I would agree. But don't say that to Darjan. Paula Fitzhenry is saying, sorry, I am late. Nice seeing everyone. Paula, hello. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So much love to you, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Finally, I know you guys supporting the page. I just appreciate the hell out of you guys. JT Owsley has, before we even get to the super chat with JT, JT is so fucking cool that he sent me a movie in the mail that he insisted upon me seeing, and it rocked. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. I was kind of blown away. JT was overhyping it a little bit too. I'm not gonna lie, JT. I love you, my friend, but you were every super chat, which including this one. you are mentioning this movie, so I was like, man, this better be like a top shelf fucking movie, man, or I'm gonna have to have a word with JT here. No, this movie rocked. It was pretty good. But you're throwing $10 out there and you're saying I'm skipping Scream 7. Last one was already cooked. Then they screwed over their two leads. Now Gail's returning. At this point, I'd rather watch Stab 7 and make out with my mom. I think I'd still rather watch Scream 7, personally. Just kidding. We're going to watch 11:14 instead, which is the greatest horror movie of all time. That is so funny, but I respect the opinion, my friend. There's a lot of bullshit going on with this movie, and I feel your pain. As you know, as a big Scream fan, I got to know what's going on. I got to know what this movie is all about. So personally, I'm here. I'm a ride or die Scream fan. I want to see how trashy this ends up getting, but hopefully not. Maybe it's a surprise hit. You never know. You got to hold out hope for movies. I have been surprised by way worse. I'll say that too. I've gone into movies thinking this is going to be the biggest pile of dog shit I've ever seen in my life, and was pretty surprised. I hate to admit this because of how beloved this movie is, but Kingsman. I went into the Kingsman saying that trailer looked like dog shit. I don't think this movie is going to be good. I was very wrong. I was unbelievably wrong. That first Kingsman movie, excellent, very good stuff. I really enjoyed it a bunch. And then the sequel's pretty good too. It's very fun. The third one, whatever. That's the dog shit movie. But that first film, I was very wrong about. It was awesome. And I'm hoping I'm wrong about Scream 7 too. I don't have the most positive things to say about it at this time and place. But as more news comes out about the film, maybe that changes. I gotta admit, this last casting decision I think was actually pretty big positive. The girl that they chose to play Sydney's daughter looks a lot like a young Neve Campbell. I think if you've seen any upload from the end of last week, you've definitely seen her face plastered all over my channel. She looks great. She looks the part. It's awesome. And her boyfriend already has me looking suspicious. I think that guy has dead bodies in his basement, and I'm not talking about the movie. Kidding. But JT, thank you for the 10, my friend. No worries. The other thing I will say too about this is I got a comment this weekend that kind of, I guess it rubbed me the wrong way, and I like getting rubbed the right way, if you know what I mean, JT. but I got a comment from somebody saying, I think I'm done with Killjoy Jake. All he's talking about is Scream 7 now. And I'm like, no, well, hang on. Pause. Take a pause real quick here, buddy. Just in the last week or so, I have talked about a bunch of different movies. And I can't believe I'm forgetting it. But so Scream 7, yes, was my last video. We've talked about Terrifier this evening. We've talked about 11:14. Just last week, I talked about 6 terrifying 2024 horror movies you might have missed. And I bet you've missed one of them. The Street Trash remake last week, The Creep Tapes, Scary Movie 6, Terrifier 4, Heretic. I can go on. So we talk about a bunch of horror movies here. Just a reminder, this is not a Scream page. Even though a lot of people like to call me the Scream page. That is factually incorrect. But JT, thank you for the 10, my friend. I really do appreciate you. No worries. We're talking about more than just Scream on here. And we also have Felix the Fandom, who has been patiently waiting this for a while now. Thank you for the 2. Appreciate you for supporting the page. Saying, we need a Child's Play 2019 sequel. Buddy has potential. Felix says. What I will say is, after watching Megan, I think I go back on the Child's Play 2019 film a little more fondly. I think at first I wasn't crazy about it because I like how unique Chucky is. You know what I mean? He's a serial killer that used voodoo to put his soul into a doll. And then the 2019 film is like, actually, no, he's just a regular doll we just decided to turn on a kill switch. So I think that was kind of a turnoff to me the first time I watched it, but it does have some really good kills and some very funny moments. So I do have I have some love for the Child's Play 2019 remake. I'm not like over the moon about it, but the director has talked about doing a sequel before, and he has ideas. He wants to do it. So maybe it could happen. I did a video, Felix, a while ago on this, and I'm going to be honest, I think this is when I was not making very good videos. I make much better videos today. But I talked a little bit about it. I think I covered the news at least decently, hopefully. Maybe I'll do a new video talking a little more about this in 2024 if there's any updates on the Child's Play 2019 continuation. We do know, in terms of Chucky right now, that Don Mancini is looking to make a movie next, considering that we don't think that Chucky is getting a season 4 now, the TV series, I should say. So we might be getting a new Child's Play, like, original timeline film. Felix, does that have you excited? Just out of curiosity. Let me know in the comments. Because personally, I'm down. I miss Chucky. I know so many people really did enjoy that show. I just wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I love the movies. I really do. The show just kind of lost me at a certain point. So I'm very excited to see what they end up doing with the new movie. I'm there day one. When Don Mancini wants to make a new movie, I'll check it out. And I think that's my biggest thing with the show. I can take 90 minutes of Chucky, but but a whole TV series, it's just a bit much for old Jake. But a new movie, run it. Let's make it happen. Sydney Prescott is saying, if they kill or make Sydney Ghostface in Scream 7, I'm not seeing another Scream movie again. I've heard a lot of sentences like this about Scream 7 recently, and I agree with most of them. I'm gonna be honest. Scream 7 is going to be tiptoeing. It's going to be playing a very tough game of making the fans happy. Can it do it, or will it not? That's the big question as of right now. This is obviously a very big sin, something that even Wes Craven would be very disappointed in. He was very vocal about that too. If you go back and you watch the Wes Craven directed Scream films, there is, in almost all the sequels, there is something about Sidney being the killer and that idea being made fun of. Scream 3 is probably the most obvious one. I think we have our cast members of Stab 3 all sitting around. They're talking about Sidney being the killer. Oh, they should totally do that. It would be so unexpected, and just gets shot down immediately. Wes Craven never wanted that. That completely defeats the point of what Scream is, in my opinion. So yeah, no, they're not going to do that. I don't think so. And Neve Campbell has even said in the past she would not sign on to do a new Scream film if she were to become the killer. Sydney Prescott, to many fans, represents overcoming trauma, and I think that's wonderful. So we wouldn't want to shoot that down. Scream is a very it's a very triumphant, very positive horror franchise. You can't say that about a lot of them, and that's kind of what makes it stand out, right? As much as there's a selfish part of me, that wants to see Scream become Terrifier and just be vicious and mean-spirited, but that's just not the vibe, and that's okay. Not every franchise needs to be vicious and mean-spirited. If everything was Terrifier, it would all just kind of feel the same and we'd get sick of it, That's why there are so many different horror franchises with so many different flavors, and that's what I love about Scream. When I want something a little more positive, a little more uplifting, I go and see what Ghostface is doing. See Sydney Prescott just punch him in the face. I love it. Makes me so happy. So I don't think they'll do that personally. We have bigger things to worry about, like Stu returning, which that always seems to light a fire under the fan base's ass, which is very funny to me. Superman, who's got a new movie coming out next year, is saying, what is your thoughts on Greta Gerwig's Narnia Netflix movie? Are you a fan of C.W. Lewis? Is it something you are looking forward to? I never really got into Narnia. I never found the wardrobe. I never really found the wardrobe. I never really got through it. I think I saw those movies when I was a kid. I have yet to revisit them as an adult. So this is something that I would love to go back and check out. I have been, maybe over the last year and a half or so, I've been revisiting a lot of movies from childhood that I watched and kind of forgot about. So this might be one that I have to add to the list, considering that it's kind of coming back here. I really like Greta Gerwig. I was really, I don't know if this is like a hot take or a fresh take at all, but I really enjoyed the Barbie movie. I thought it was very good. And that was another one I was like, this is probably going to be bad. I don't think I'm going to be into this. Let's see what it's all about. And I was like, okay, all right. You know what? Barbie movie that was way more intelligent and thought provoking than I ever thought a Barbie film would be. So rock on. So I'm excited to see what this is all about. Even though I'm not like crazy about the source material, because that's not the right way to phrase that. It's not that I'm not crazy about it. I guess I just don't know it as well. Obviously I can get up here and talk about Terrifier, the Terrifier franchise or Scream franchises all day long. But when it comes to something like this, I'm just like, I saw these movies when I was like 8, bro. That's all I got. I think there's 3 of them. Maybe. Right? Isn't there like a trilogy and they're making a new one? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But I'll have to revisit these at some point. I remember the wardrobe. That's what I remember, Superman. I'm excited for your movie next year, though, Superman. 2025. Let's go. Let's see what that's all about. Hey Jake, hope you're doing well. I just rewatched Thanksgiving the other night. Best slasher movie since Scream 6, in my opinion. I really hope we get the sequel soon from Eli Roth. We should be getting it in exactly a year, James River CFC reviews, which is very exciting. So we've been hearing a little bit of rumblings about that one getting going too. They're going to start filming that one, and bam, we're off to the races. I'm doing a big video on it this week. So hopefully it's out before Thanksgiving. I kind of got sidetracked this weekend, but we're getting moving on it. I cannot wait to post this video. We just filmed an excellent skit for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I agree, it's definitely one of the better slasher films of last year. I had a blast with it. Great kills, great mystery, great atmosphere. Too. I don't hear a lot of people talk about that because they kind of lose the grindhouse edge, right? It's like it kind of feels like more of a modern remake of that 2007 trailer, but it's a ton of fun. I really enjoyed a bunch, and I'm going to get into everything I just talked about. I get into real deep, balls deep even, with this deep dive coming out over on Killjoy Jake Retro, a brand new YouTube channel, new offshoot of this page. So go check it out. I can't wait to talk about that one though. Love it. VKD Villain Killin' Dylan. The suckling is crazy. It's always crazy when you get to sucking. Scott Royston is saying, hey there, Jake. Yes, you do have friends. Scott's angry. He's like, Jake, I'm your friend. Yes, you are, Scott. What's up, my friend? How are you? How are you doing? I lie in every single video I've ever posted. It's all a bunch of lies. I have a bunch of friends. Get wrecked. Killjoy, Jake, liar. MB, what's up, fella? I talked to Cashin Bilton, who said, next project is a horror movie. I think I know which one you're talking about there, MB. I think I know which one. And it ends with a 7 and starts with a That was a bad joke. But I'm very excited to see him in this new movie. He'll likely be a part of the cast. Daniel Richtman is rarely the guy to be like, there are some scoopers out there who just spew a bunch of bullshit, but Daniel Richtman is a third-party source that I tend to trust. He's typically right, and I appreciate that about him. He's not just wasting our times like a lot of Twitter accounts. But I do think he's part of the cast, just like Isabel May, and he was also the one to say that Patrick Dempsey is also in talks now. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get more casting announcements. We should be getting more soon. RJ Skorenki is saying, I'm afraid to go Black Friday after I saw the travesty in that great Thanksgiving movie. Yeah, I'm terrified of that happening. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but I've seen people push and pull over each other at Black Friday. It's intense. It is wild. If you've never done it before, it's crazy. And Wayne is giving us a little update on Black Friday in Australia. It is rude, entitled, and lots of thieving customers. That's upsetting to hear, Wayne. But it does make me a little happy to know that it's not just us Americans who feel entitled all the fucking time. Ugh, God, it sucks. It's rough. But I will say, get through it, Wayne, and I'm sure you're going to make a big paycheck. So you got to think about that. My buddy Connor is working Black Friday, and he's been talking about, he's stressing over it. He's like, oh, God, I just don't want to do it. I'm like, you're going to make a bunch of money, bro. Just think about that the whole time. When people are screaming at you about, this was supposed to be a 20% discount, not a 15%. Just think about all the money you're going to make. There you go. Sometimes that's what gets you through. Ty Lee is saying, is there a big difference between the unrated and theatrical cut of The Descent? Is The Kingsman a medieval movie? Wow, some great questions here. I want to say yes. I'm about to. So we're watching The Descent on Wednesday here on the page, and then I'm about to do a bunch of research on this one for a big video essay for, again, Killjoy Jake Retro. So I've yet to do a ton of research on it. The one thing I can tell you about The Descent right now, I just started like reading some stuff. Like that's kind of where I'm at with that one because I'm working on this Thanksgiving video. I'm still editing it, so trying to get that one ready for, I think Wednesday is when it's going to come out, realistically, the Thanksgiving video. I wanted it to be Tuesday, but it's probably going to be Wednesday. Want to make this one extra special. The one thing I can tell you about it is that it did not make a ton of money at the box office because there was like legitimate like terrorist attacks in I believe it was like in London or something. I can't remember, and like actually affected the box office. People were afraid to go to the theaters when this one dropped, which is like I never knew about this. I never knew about this until doing some research on this. It's like, what? Like this is like such a good, this is one of the best horror movies of the 2000s in my opinion, and it's like you're learning all this weird shit about it. This is what I'm really excited to cover actually, but learning more about it, it's like there's all these weird things. I'm like, holy shit, this is so eye-opening. Never knew that about The Descent, but I'm actually not 100% sure what the differences are. I'm sure it's got to be more bloody, more fucked up. You guys know I'm about to do the rewatch of it here very soon. I have not seen it in a very long time. But Lighting Ghost, who I don't know if Lighting Ghost is hanging out with us tonight or not, but Lighting Ghost was the one to suggest this movie for the Horror Hot Takes series. But I'm just gonna, we're just doing, we're gonna do that as a watch party instead. So if you're a member, let me know what kind of movies you want me to cover over on Killjoy Jake Retro, and we can do little watch parties for them here too. So. But Kingsman, no, it is not a medieval movie. It is about like a James Bond secret agents saving the world essentially. It's very similar to that. It's very British. And if you've never seen the first two movies, I totally recommend them. But the third one, it's kind of bad. I hear they're making another one that's like bringing back a lot of the original cast members, which is what that third film lacked. Just the minutia between the characters just wasn't there in that third. It's like The King's Man was the full title. It's supposed to be like a big prequel film. I don't know. It just did not work for me at all. I was not into it. But they're very good. They're action. Like action they got a little bit of comedy to them too. There's a butt sex joke in the in the first one, which I think is very funny. But anyways, let's scroll ahead here because I'm very behind on the chat. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Want to get to as many chats as I possibly can here. But Felix the Fandom is throwing $5 out there saying, would you be up to doing a collaboration with my YouTube channel to talk about Child's Play 2019? Absolutely. I have a lot of sequel ideas that I would love to share. Felix, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. I don't go on Twitter anymore because that place is a cesspool. So hit me up over on Instagram if you have an Instagram. That's going to be the easiest way to reach me. Or just send me an email on my Gmail, which people send me some really cool shit. I had a fella send me their found footage movie that they made and in like I think an abandoned hotel. Really fucking cool. I was like, shit, this is good. this is really good. I can't believe this. Just a fan of the page. They're like, we made a little found footage short film, wanted you to see it, and I'm like, this is they wanted like some notes from me, and I'm like, this is actually really good, dude. Like seriously, I don't just say that too. If people ask for notes, I'm brutally honest because that's more valuable. If I'm gonna be real, if you want to send me your shit, I'll watch it and I'll say, dude, you could have done better here. I'm gonna be real. No, this was actually pretty good. So send me a tangent. Apologies. ADHD brain. Send me an email, send me a message on Instagram. I will try to get back to you, Felix, and we'll talk a little bit about Child's Play 2019. Well, it's topical too because we do have a new Chucky movie theoretically on the horizon, right? Don Mancini has talked a bit about it. So let me know, Felix. Shoot me a little something there. Thank you for the 5. Really do appreciate you supporting the page. And talking, of course, about Child's Play. Love that franchise. I don't get to talk about it a bunch here. It's nice. Remember, Jake, there will be no leftovers. White meat, dark meat, all will be carved. I love that movie so much. I've seen it twice just in the last week or so, and it is a blast. I love it. Fucking banger, man. Who else is hanging out with us? We got Magnificent Logo and doesn't have a logo. What's going on here? I want to, I think they're just waiting for the Magnificent logo. They're holding us, they're edging us out, waiting for that Magnificent logo. It is just an M right now. I'm waiting though, buddy. I'm waiting. Any news on Thanksgiving too? Last I heard, they were prepping to film this one. That's really all I heard. I'm waiting for I don't know. I don't even know if this is going to get released or not yet, but I'm really waiting to hear about Patrick Dempsey being involved in the cast or not, because if you've seen Thanksgiving, you know that there's a big question mark there about if he's coming back or not. So that's a certain character that I wouldn't mind returning to a certain franchise, but I'm not going to say any more than that. The movie's a year old. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? This is the time of year to watch it anyways. I guess I can spoil it maybe after Thanksgiving a little more. Maybe I can talk more spoilers past that. Some people are probably going to check it out for the first time this month, literally this week. But show it to your family. It's totally kid-friendly. Totally. But no, I'm excited to see what the sequel is all about, my friend. Did I skip Dean Renner? I would never want to skip Dean Renner at all. I just saw that they were there, and they're a member. They rock. What's up, Dean? You're working on getting your YouTube channel going more. Good luck, Dean. I hope you kill it, my friend. You just upgraded your computer and went to dual monitors. Dude, that is a game changer. I did that maybe like a year and a half ago. This is the fucking best with editing. You can like have all your shit here where you're editing and then like look over here. Okay, I need to look something up. Bam. Pull it in, plugins. We're doing that. We're doing pictures. We're doing this and that over on this screen. And then this is the editing screen. That is a game changer, my friend. That is such a must. If you're going to do YouTube, you need a PC, you need a dual setup. I know guys who do it like on their laptop, and I'm like, I did that shit when I was in college. I can't do that anymore. Like I couldn't go back to the laptop, man. That's I don't know. I'm too spoiled. You gotta get yourself a PC though. If you're gonna do YouTube consistently, I couldn't stress that enough. PC dual monitors. Trayvon King, any updates on Insidious 6? I'm sure that's what you're talking about. It's coming out next year. We have a release date and everything, my friend. I forgot it though. I would love to do a video on this because it's been far too long since I've talked about the Insidious franchise. So it's August 29th of 2025. It's coming out so next August. Less than a year we have to wait, which is exciting. I personally wasn't crazy about the last one. If you guys saw my review, I love the Insidious franchise. These are some of this is probably my favorite Blumhouse franchise. If I'm being real, did not care for the last one too much at all. I even like the fourth one, which does not have the best story. I still vibed with it a bunch. It was still very scary. The fifth one, good jump scares. I'll give them that. That's obviously a staple. The story is actually so rough in that new one, man. I don't know. I was not crazy about it. What's nice about Insidious 6 though is they are talking about this one being a fresh new take on the franchise, brand new characters. It's got a really good cast. I believe Kumail Nanjiani was said to be starring in it. Last I heard, some things might have changed. Again, I would love to do a fresh update video on this one sometime soon. But I'm excited to see what that's all about. What's this fresh new take on Insidious? That has me intrigued. If they were to, I'm at the point now where if they were to say we're doing another Lambert family movie, I would be like, okay, dude, you lost me with the last Lambert family movie. I don't think this one's going to be any better. But we'll see what this one's all about. I hope it's good. I hope it's a good reinvention of the franchise. And whatever your thoughts are on Insidious: The Red Door, that last movie made a fuck ton of money. In fact, it was the most profitable movie from the entire franchise thus far. So clearly they were cooking and I'm just wrong. But Insidious: The Red Door made a fuck ton of money, so you will continue to see Insidious films probably until Blumhouse ceases to exist. But I hope it's for that reason alone. Not that reason alone. I love this franchise. I hope that it's good. I'm very much so rooting for Insidious 6. And it sounds like I'm talking about the Spider-Man villain group, but I'm not. I think that's why they're calling it something else, right? It's called it has a different name. Isn't it I can't remember. It's like Threads or something. Isn't that the nuclear war movie? That's not, I don't even know. I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's called Insidious 6. Maybe they're just going to call it the Spider-Man thing. What are you more excited for? Scream 7, I Know What You Did Last Summer, or Scary Movie 6? I hope we can get a new urban legend movie. God, I love everything you just said, my friend. You just made me so happy. But you just did a lot of things for me, Sammyverse, because I didn't want to come out the gate talking about this new show that I just watched that I love so much to death. But thankfully, you gave me a little channel to talk to it with that I Know What You Did Last Summer comment. So when I first reported on I Know What You Did Last Summer, the brand new movie that's coming out next year, July of next year, summer, that's fitting, isn't it? I talked a little bit about the cast, and I'm like, I don't know these people, but they're from very popular stuff, so they're probably good. And one of those people was Madeline Klein. Now, she's from a show called Outer Banks, which, when my girlfriend this weekend, we were celebrating her birthday a little bit, and she's like, Jake, I know you're not into some of the shows that I like a bunch, but just give this one a try. Give this a shot. And her argument to me even was that, hey, Madeline Klein is in this. She's in the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. You're going to want to see this so that you have some information in your brain to talk about when it comes to that movie. And I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. I'll give the first season a try. Let's see what's up. I fucking love this show. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you need a good show, and maybe you're someone like me who completely disregarded Outer Banks when it came out at first, this show fucks so hard. I'm like 10 times more excited for I Know What You Did Last Summer now, knowing that Madeline Klein is going to be attached to it in some way, shape, or form. I believe the other girl dropped out of it too. I don't think it was her that dropped out. I can't remember. I cannot remember what her name was for the life of me. But if Madeline Klein is in it from now on, that is another person on my radar. She fucking rocks in that show. Such great performances across the board. Fuck, I'm so much more excited for this because of Outer Banks. I just finished the first season with my girlfriend this weekend, and so good, fucking fantastic. It's kind of like a younger. It's hard to explain. It's like a teen drama version of like a crime Breaking Bad-esque feeling show, but it's got like a treasure hunting angle to it. It's very fun. It's very, very unique. I really enjoyed it a bunch. I think Outer Banks rocks so hard. But can't wait for that movie. What's the one I'm the most excited for, though? Honestly, I mean, probably Scary Movie 6 as of right now. I'm a big Scream fan, don't get me wrong, but there is just some weird shit going on with that film. There is some weird shit going on with I Know What You Did Last Summer too. People are dropping out, the release dates, they're kind of putting the cart before the horse with that project. But Scary Movie 6, I think, is going to be the one that sticks out across the board here. I say that because we don't have a lot of comedies in this day and age, at least for me, that hits. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen a comedy that really like blew my fucking socks off in a while. Scary Movie 6, I think, could be that. I think could be that animal that I've been looking for since like 2014 when comedies died. But I'm excited to see what Scary Movie 6 is all about. I think I'm weirdly the most excited for this one because we haven't gotten a project like this in so long. Scream 7, we've gotten some excellent slashers in the last 4 years, at least in my opinion. So I'm excited to see Scream 7. I'm excited to see I Know What You Did Last Summer. But Scary Movie 6, it's like, a funny, crude movie. That's fresh. That there hasn't been one of those on my radar in a while now. And the fact that I'm reporting on that right now is very exciting. But Sammyverse, I couldn't agree more, man. Give me a new urban legend. Oh, those first 2 urban legend movies are so good. Love them to death. Would love to see another one of those get made. Dean Renner is saying it's so great, man. Yeah, I just upgraded my whole setup. I started with a laptop and then just dove headfirst with the whole setup. I just picked up the new Mac Mini. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I still have a laptop. Like, I'll show you what I started Killjoy Jake on, pretty much. I just don't use it. Actually, it's not even under there anymore because I moved it. I started Killjoy Jake on this like $600 laptop, and we've evolved. We've evolved, thank God, in 5 years. So, but I think I want to get it. I would like to have a laptop so that when I'm like not here, I can still work on stuff, because I find myself just trying to do everything on the phone when I'm not in town. Like, I remember when we were in Kentucky for a horror convention this last month. There was something I was like, oh shit, wanted to upload that, and I couldn't. There was just something I left at home, so it's like, fuck. that's no good. Me looks up Jake's Instagram account. Yes, go follow me on Instagram. I just hit like 2,500 followers over there, which is kind of cool. So thank you for following me there. Appreciate it. Cody made it. Just had dinner. Saw that you're live and you're here now. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Cody. Appreciate that. You're not even like that late either. 45 minutes late. If you're an hour late, that's bad. But like 45 minutes, that's okay. You were eating dinner. That's okay. The first thing you see on my Instagram is Jake wearing a pug mask while sitting in a bathtub. Yeah, if you guys want to see some crazy bullshit, there you go. Follow me on Instagram. And that video originated from Killjoy Jake Retro, my brand new page. So go subscribe to that. Give it a watch. Oh, aggressively, shamelessly promoting other stuff that I do. Magnificent Logo is saying, fun fact, my birthday is in 3 days before Insidious 6 comes out. Ooh, Okay. Hey, that's exciting. Your birthday movie is Insidious this year. Very nice. My birthday movie was supposed to be the new David Cronenberg film this year, but I think it got pushed. It was supposed to come out in September, like late September. Now I believe it's coming out at like the top of 2025, if I remember correctly. His movies don't typically get a ton of advertising, so I'm not 100% sure when that's coming out, but I'm excited to see it. What's it called? The Shrouds, coming out sometime next year. Can't wait to see that one. What else is going on here? You should watch the comedy movie Blockers. Blockers is pretty good from 2018. Yeah, I think past 2014 there have been some here and there. We talked a bit about this on the other stream about comedy movies that have still been, comedy movies that are still popular here and there. Blockers from 2018. That is a very good one. I really enjoyed that movie. There's more that I'm totally. Game Night, I believe, is from the same year that I really like personally. That's a big standout comedy from the last 10 years or so. There hasn't been a ton. I don't know. Last 10 years, I feel like Hollywood's been a little too afraid to make comedy movies. So there hasn't been a ton. I don't know. For me, it's like jokes are jokes, man. I mean, are we really going to get pissed off at a movie making a joke about something when there's real world horrible shit going on all the fucking time? It just feels like, I don't know. There are worse things to be mad about versus some guy making an edgy joke in a movie. That's just my thoughts. But I would like to see comedy movies make a comeback. Maybe Scary Movie 6 could pave that runway. That would be cool. Johnny Naris is demanding I talk about Sonic 3, bro. Isn't Keanu in it? Keanu's in that one, right? I'm excited about Sonic 3. Yeah. It's not horror, I know, says Johnny. I like other I promise you I watch more than just horror. I'm excited for Sonic 3. Yeah, sure. I wasn't crazy about 2. It kind of was just the Infinity War plotline again, which I thought was weird. Kind of just felt like they found trending movie topics and were like, let's make Sonic 2. The first one's a lot of fun. The performances in the sequel are great, and I'm sure Keanu Reeves is going to bring some magic to part 3. It's going to be fun. I'm also hearing this is Jim Carrey's final performance too. I don't know if that's a rumor or what the deal is with that one, but man, that's crazy. I mean, that's like the end of an era right there, if that's the case. If Jim Carrey is just clocking out after Sonic 3, that would be so sad. Because me personally, I grew up with comedy movies and a little bit of horror too. And then I grew to love horror maybe even more. But, I grew up watching Jim Carrey, and he's the reason I wanted to be this silly, goofy guy. And maybe do a little more, because, realistically, I talk about horror here, but this is like a comedy page, right? I'm cracking jokes left and right. So it's what I'm built to do. And it's mainly because I watched so many Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, and I'm trying to think, Will Ferrell movies when I was a kid. I mean, I adored these guys when I was a kid. So to hear that might be his final performance definitely breaks my heart a little bit. That makes me a little sad. So I will be seeing it. I will be seeing it in theaters when it comes out. Shay Rance is saying, "What's up, Jake? Hope you're having a good Monday." It is a fantastic Monday. We're celebrating a birthday today. We're hanging out. We're having fun, and we're talking about horror movies. Could it get better than that, Shay Rance? I think not. So thanks for being here, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Legion is with us too. Another long timer hanging out. The cop at the beginning of Smile 2 should have been the main character. Wasn't that scene excellent? Oh. This is a little more recent, so I'm not going to dive into spoilers, but the opening to Smile 2, I mean, genuinely one of the best openings to a horror film in 2024. I mean, fuck. The Terrifier 3 opening, excellent. The Smile 2 opening, holy fuck, man. God, I've never been sucked into a movie so fast. I'm I'm invested. Wherever this is going, I'm on board. But man, Smile 2, whew, killer flick. Did you think Scary Movie will make fun of Corey Cunningham? That's a really good question, and I think yes. I think if you would have asked me when Halloween Ends came out, will they do that? I'd say no, because I'm this is something that Halloween fans are pissed about, but I don't know if the rest of the world really cares or not. No, I'm very wrong. I would have been very wrong in saying that, because Rowan Campbell, who of course portrays Corey, not Michael Myers Cunningham, Uh, not only is he a very kind guy, but the Halloween fans have seemed to accept him in the last couple of years. He's been at like a bunch. He was at the Halloween 40 H40 convention or whatever, and I heard a lot of good things coming specifically about him. That apparently he's just a really kind guy. He's getting a ton of roles in other horror flicks. Like he's in the upcoming Osgood Perkins movie, The Monkey. He was in that Sabrina Carpenter music video, which is like, what? Like, what's going on here? You know, she kind of dips into horror with that music video a bit. And who does she get to represent the horror community in that music video? Rowan, Jenna Ortega, of course, which completely makes sense. And Rowan Campbell. It's like, that's his name, right? Rowan Campbell. Am I saying his name wrong? I think it's Rowan Campbell. Why? I haven't talked about Halloween in so long. I actually forgot. I'm like, hang on a minute. Yeah, that's him. But yeah, I'm like, that's crazy to me. That tells me that people saw Halloween Ends, and there is a lot of people that really liked it. There's a big vocal community that loves that film. I don't get it. I don't know. That movie, it's brainwashing, did not work on me. But but a lot of people love Halloween Ends. A lot of people love Corey Cunningham. So I could totally see Scary Movie hitting on that, and it wouldn't be like a far cry of a joke. It wouldn't be like is that too niche? You know what I mean? Is that a bit that only some people are going to get? No, I think that is totally something we could see Scary Movie dip into. So that's a great question, actually, Cody. That's a really good question, because I feel like we're totally going to hit that. We're going to hit that Corey Cunningham, all right. Did you see the first look of Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott? She's wearing the clothes and outfit from Scream 1. Oh, fuck. How much did I miss over the weekend? No, I did not see that. Scream 7, new image. We're going to look that up. And if it doesn't come up, then I'm guessing that's not true. But we'll see what's up. I am not seeing anything here. I feel like someone would have messaged me about that. Someone would have been like, dude, have you seen this? Holy fuck. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or not here. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking around, trying to find some stuff. 458 days until the movie comes out though, so we're getting close. That's that's exciting. Yeah, I am not seeing anything about that, unfortunately, but I don't know, maybe they haven't shot yet. Yeah, they haven't even shot anything yet. We wouldn't have an image. But we'll probably get something in the next couple of months, so we'll have something to talk about. Raptor Crasher Incorporated is saying, I just watched Red One, very funny and completely off the rails, very enjoyable. I've heard mixed reviews. My one buddy Eric said it was really good. My other buddy said not so much. I don't know. It doesn't look like a movie I would be really into, but I still kind of want to see it. Looks like fun. I didn't think I would like Violent Night either, and I had a very good time with that one, so you never know. Rotting Plush is saying, yo, I just saw that Ghostface got added to Mortal Kombat 1. That kind of roped me back into my horror obsession again, so here I am. What do you think about Ghosty getting added to yet another game? I've had people like ask me to do videos about this. People are like, oh, Ghostface is in that. Like, you got to talk about that. I don't know what I would do a video on with that. Like, I personally, I don't know. I don't know what I would talk about with that. It's cool. That fucking rocks, but YouTube very much so. I'm trying, I guess these days with YouTube, I'm trying to make longer videos. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, I made a 7-minute Scream video, and I'm like, I wish I could have made that longer. But you also don't want to, if you decide on a subject that just lends itself to a shorter video, sometimes you got to commit to that. You don't want to make your videos over long, then they get boring. I'm always here to make quality content, not just things that are going to just look better for the algorithm or whatever. It's just like, sometimes you got to just do this or that, but I don't know how I could make more than a 3-minute video on, on this. But what I will say is it's sick as fuck. I mean, it's not as exciting as something like Terrifier being added to Call of Duty, because that to me is like, okay, well, Art the Clown now is a recognizable figure in horror. Ghostface has been recognizable since the 90s, like, it's dope as fuck. That's awesome. But it's not like, when Art the Clown was in Call of Duty, that to me is like, oh shit, people recognize this fucking clown, I went to over the summer, I went to this like this town up in like north, I want to say like northeast Ohio. I can't remember where, but it's like right on the bay there, right up by the lake. And they had all these like shirts, because it was right after like or right before Halloween, I mean. So they were selling like their Halloween merch already. It was kind of like a vacation town, and they had all this like Art the Clown stuff on there. And like, I mean, this is like a small town in Ohio that like, you know, people maybe go to drink or hang out, whatever. And they're selling like, you know, for their like annual Halloween march, or you know, Halloween hangout, whatever the hell they do, they're selling Art the Clown shit on the shirts, because that's how recognizable of a figure he is. That to me is really exciting, because this is a new person, you know what I mean? Ghostface has been around for a long time. We know Ghostface is a horror icon, but seeing something like that, Art the Clown on t-shirts at local shops and all that to me says we have a new horror icon here. That's very exciting to me. But it's sick that he's in Mortal Kombat 1. I would love to play more of this. I wasn't crazy about Mortal Kombat 1. I love the Mortal Kombat games, but the fighting in that game is so weird. It's just unlike the other games that I've played personally. To me, it was too slow. Like, I like, you know, jumping around and like kicking people in the face, doing combos, whatever. To me, it was just like, my character is moving too slow. I don't know what's going on here. I played it once and I kind of just dropped it. But I strongly prefer some of the older games when it comes to Mortal Kombat. I'm really picky with that. I grew up on those older Mortal Kombats, like MK3 Ultimate Edition. That's my Mortal Kombat for life. Love that game, to death. But I will have to find out. I'll have to look into more Mortal Kombat 1 stuff. Maybe play as Ghostface. Maybe I like him a little better than the other characters. We'll have to see. What celebrity were you disappointed in that did a real life crime? I'm sorry, that was just like completely out of nowhere. Who's someone that really, you know what really bums me out? Justin Roiland was one that really bummed me out. So I was a big Rick and Morty fan, and now I'm just kind of turned off to the show. I'm trying to think who else. Who's one that just like, damn, that sucks. Justin Roiland's the first one that comes to mind, honestly. Like, that to me was just like such a what the fuck, man. Like, seriously, it was cool to have a guy out there who kind of seemed to be just like making shit up on the spot, and yet he was still so funny. And then just to find out he's a fucking pig sucks. Jake Boss is saying, I was thinking of watching Thanksgiving Halloween night. Now I'm glad I'm going to be waiting for Thanksgiving night. Hey, there you go. Hey, I mean, it's fitting, right? It's kind of perfect. You don't want to get ahead of yourself. You know, you don't want to get ahead of yourself and on Halloween watch Thanksgiving. Well, then you're at Christmas slashers already, and then you've skipped a very valuable part of the year for horror. So, Jake Boss, you're on the right track, my friend. Got to stay on schedule here. Will Scary Movie 6 make fun of Eddie Munson? Ooh, okay. You know, that's another one where I feel like we could touch. We could touch on that. And I say Eddie, why Eddie Munson? You know, could we make fun of that? Stranger Things in general? Sure, yeah. Why I say that is because what's his face? The actor that plays Eddie Munson. I mean, he's just got like super popular. Like, he's in like big movies and TV shows now. So I Joseph Quinn. I couldn't think of his name. I could see Scary Movie 6 hitting on that a little bit, making fun of Eddie Munson a little bit. He was a big standout from season 4 of Stranger Things. So yeah, sure, I'm into that. When is the trailer for Insidious 6 coming out? Probably spring of next year. Like, I don't hold your breath kind of thing. Like Blumhouse has got a few releases. Like, I think they got like 4 releases next year, 4 big releases, and they're all sequels. So they are going to market them appropriately. Once that, I think Megan comes out. I think there's 2 movies that come out before this, and I can't remember which one. What is it? Is it Megan and the Black Phone 2 that comes out first, and then it's Insidious, and then it's Five Nights at Freddy's 2, right? Isn't that what Blumhouse's schedule is next year? So actually, if it's August, probably end of spring, top of summer. That's my final answer, is when you'll probably see the first trailer for that one. If it's coming out in August, yeah, I think that makes sense. It's usually like safe guess is usually 3 months before. Safe guess. But sometimes they like to start talking and marketing movies like a lot longer before that, especially if it's one where people know this is going to be a big release. Nosferatu, for instance, we've been getting marketing for that literally all year. That's going to be a big release here in December. So I'm very excited for that one. Can't wait for that movie. Ella's hanging out with us tonight. Yo, Ella, how's it going? Ella's usually got to work. She's usually busy selling the good stuff. But now she's hanging out with us tonight. What's up, Ella? Welcome in. Madison is partying, celebrating her birthday tonight, and she's at the bar. They're playing Chicken Fried, my favorite song ever. Gotta love it. You know how I know this song actually, which is really funny. I'm actually not going to tell that story because I'm like, wait, that might be a little too edgy of a joke even for Killjoy Jake. But there's a really funny meme with this song. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm a big fan of dark humor, and sometimes people hear my jokes and they're like, ew, I don't know about that, Jake. And I'm like, it's a joke. I'm just kidding. Didn't a kid from a very popular TV series kill their mom in recent years? Fucking Jake Boss, what kind of news are you getting yourself into? God, that's terrifying. You know, I always try to avoid like awful news like that. Any like the Diddy shit, I'm not I'm not up to date with that. My girlfriend gives me updates on the baby oil. I try to stay very far away from it because I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? I like terrible news when it's fiction. That's why I do this because I love getting into how are people gonna die in fake horror movies. Ooh, that's exciting. But you know, when shit like that actually happens, it's like that's horrible. That's genuinely terrible. No real horror fan wants actual horror to happen, and that's the fun of it. The guy who shows it on YouTube, his channel is called Fear. I'll send it to you. Comments after the video. It was 3 weeks ago, dude. I'm telling you, if there was a picture of Sidney Prescott in costume, I feel like that would be big news. That would be like groundbreaking, earth-shattering Scream 7 news. So I'm just not sure about that, especially considering they haven't started. We're a month out from any sort of production starting. So I just don't know if that's actually happening or not. There are a lot of grifters here on YouTube and especially Twitter that like to just put stuff out, which makes me very sad. Because, you know, there are fellas like us that take this very seriously. You know, we want to deliver the news to fandom fans. And you know, give them exactly what they're looking for. There's a lot of people out here who make promises about certain things happening in new movies, and then that doesn't happen, and it literally it affects people's reviews. You know, I'll always pitch stuff as this is a theory. This is what I think could happen based on stuff that is happening. But some people will just come on here and be like, "This is happening in Scream 7," and then when it doesn't happen, I get people message me and they're like, "Jake, I can't believe this didn't happen. I thought this was supposed to happen," and I'm like, "Dude, grifters, man." It sucks. Sucks balls. You are still at work, Ella. And you're wishing Madison a happy birthday. Well, good on you, Ella. You're awesome. And she's got to go back. Got to sell more of that good stuff. Ella, thank you so much for hanging out with us for the time we had here. I do appreciate it. It was a good 30 seconds. and I hope you have a blast at work. I hope it's not too bad. Hope it's not too bad at all. I don't know why I'm like grabbing my boob here for some reason. I don't know why. This is a comfortable position for me for whatever reason. Anyways, Talia, thank you for being a member, my friend, saying watching on my lunch break. I'm happy I could make it. I am also so excited for Scream 7. It's my comfort franchise. It's a very comfy franchise. If I need something to just put on late at night, I'm just like, I'm tired. I want to go to bed, but I want to see somebody killing a bunch of people. And hopefully my favorite characters can evade the massacre. This is the franchise to put on. So that's an excellent choice for a comfy franchise. I'm glad you're hanging out with us here. It's 8:00 Eastern my time. I'm just curious, Talia. Talia. Words are very hard for old Jake. Are you at work right now? Like, do you work like a late shift? Maybe you're not so much on the maybe you're not on the East Coast. Maybe it's like a totally different time for you right now. I think isn't it like fucking 3 o'clock for some people right now? Like 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock over on the West Coast. That's crazy to me. I wish it's the end of my day here on the East Coast. But let me know, Talia, if you want. You don't have to. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Gallows is throwing $2 out there, and look at that terrifying picture. What is going on there? It's a dead fella. I can tell from the X's in the eyes, and he's saying something. That is a language I do not speak, my friend. What the fuck is going on there? That is his final words were a bunch of robot speak. I don't know what's happening in that. I've never seen letters like that before, Gallows. But you're a fan, it seems. And you do speak English. That's good. That's good. That's good. I wish I could speak more languages. I really wish I could. I took 3 years of German in fucking in high school, and that's about all I got. So unfortunately, but Gallows, thank you for the $2. Thanks for being a friend. He is saying ass. Thank you, and thank you for translating. Look at you're too kind, my friend. You're supporting the page. You're translating robot speak. I appreciate it a bunch, my friend. Thank you. Thanks for being a horror fan, and thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Let us know what's your favorite horror movie, dude. What's the number one? The number one favorite one. JPR stands for jousting pregnant robots is saying, I'm just kidding. What's up, Jake? What kind of sequel do you think Thanksgiving will have? Also, what's your opinion on Train to Busan? One of my favorite zombie movies. Excellent choice. Which holiday would you want Terrifier 4 to take place on? JPR was like, I'm going to get all my questions in right now. I'm getting them all in, laying them down, and I'm laying them out flat. Thanksgiving sequel, what's that going to be all about? Speed round. I think that the Thanksgiving sequel will be more of just a straight up slasher. Like, I don't know if it's going to be, like a murder mystery again. And I don't think it has to be. I think it would be totally fine if we just had the idea of, oh, John Carver's back. What the fuck's going on with all this? And it's Patrick Dempsey again. I'd be so fine with that. I say that because I don't think we need to overcomplicate this franchise. What was so great about the first one was the mystery. I think the mystery is laid out really well, especially after, analyzing it and kind of writing this big script that I wrote this past week for Killjoy Jake Retro. Shameless plug. Go subscribe. But I really enjoyed the film. I don't think we need another murder mystery. We could totally just have fun with these characters again, which might be a hot take. I don't know. But it might be kind of brutal just to see some of our favorite characters from the last film get fucking wrecked. So we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. If they do a murder mystery again, I'm down for it though. Not against it at all. But it could work both ways. It's a very strong cast. And also, what's your opinion on Train to Busan? Love it, dude. Excellent take. That's one of my favorite zombie movies too. I will say though, nothing will ever top Zombie from 1979 for me personally. I love the shock, the score, the ridiculous happenings of that film. It just does it for me. I mean, listen, Zombie 1979 has a fucking zombie fighting a shark. Does it push the plot? No, but it's fucking crazy. A guy in zombie makeup got into the fucking ocean and fought a real shark. I have no words. That's crazy. That's awesome. Sorry. I love Train to Busan. Excellent film. But you do something like that, you get bonus points. That's a little higher than a 10 out of 10 for me personally. Holy fuck. So Zombie's always going to be my favorite, but Train to Busan, a very close second. I will say that. An excellent film. Tearjerker too. Dear God, what an emotional movie. Which holiday would you want Terrifier 4, final question, to take place on? I see so many people saying Easter. Excellent choice. Easter is probably my number one. I mean, Art the Clown in a fucking bunny costume should sell you that alone. But what I will say, the other thing too, is we've always been on religious holidays with Terrifier. Halloween is a pagan holiday. Christmas was a pagan holiday. Now it's a Christian holiday. So I think there's a theme there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Christian symbolism in these last couple of movies as well. So I feel like that's going to be a running theme with Terrifier. I think if we're going to do what Damien was talking about, where we get a Terrifier 4, a Terrifier 5, we're definitely getting an Easter one. But if it's just Terrifier 4, that closes out the franchise. Maybe we'll just get like one final movie, and that it might not be holiday themed. But I really hope they do an Easter themed one. That would just be too funny. And I would love to see a 4th of July too. I think a lot of people have suggested that as well. Hang on, gotta do some mental math here. My girlfriend's sister's husband, his pitch for Terrifier 4 was that they should do it on 4th of July, and they should do like a Ferris Bueller style, like he gets up on a fucking float and all that, and it's Art the Clown, and he like whips out a Tommy gun or something and just lays waste. So I'm like, yeah, that totally works. Like, that's hilarious. But I think Easter just fits the themes a little more, and I'm a fucking dork who cares about those kind of things. So I think that would be sick. It would fit the religious theme that's been very consistent throughout the last 3 flicks. Make it Easter. Make it Easter. That's my vote personally. But a lot of great choices and decisions that the next movie can make. I like that Wayne said my nipples are hard. Are they though? I see no erect nipples, my friend. I even checked. That's gross. I shouldn't do that on a live stream. That's inappropriate. When have I ever cared about that though? Talia saying I do work at a beauty supply shop as my day job, and usually that's 12 to 8. Then I do arts and content creation as my side little gig. That's very fun. Hopefully one day it's the opposite. Yes, I hope so for you as well. That would be excellent. Beauty supply shop, that's a fun job though. That's got to be that can't be too bad. I'm sure it has its days, you know, everything has its rough days, but that sounds like it's kind of fun. But I love that you make art as well. My girlfriend and I, we just bought a bunch of paint and like little tiny canvases, and we want to do like a Bob Ross thing. Like we want to just put on a Bob Ross video and like do that at some point. I would love to make that happen. That'd be a ton of fun. But yes, Talia, that fucking rocks. I really hope that you're able to do it sometime. I know you've been messaging me on TikTok. We got to get on a live stream at some point. So let's make that happen here soon. Thank you for being a member too. Thank you for supporting the page. Really does mean a lot. And Jet is correcting me here because I don't know how to tell time. It's 5:07 in LA. Okay, thank you. Apologies that I can't do mental math. I really can't. Agreed Easter Day. Hell yeah. Rock on, rock on. Good stuff. Jason Carpenter's just dropping in as well. What's up, my friend? How you doing? Thanks for being here. And thank you for being a member and also letting us know about some of these dope-ass Blu-ray 4K deals. Okay. So I just saw, and ladies and gentlemen, you might want to perk your ears up here a little bit. The Shining on 4K is $11. I just got that notification today, and I looked at my girlfriend, and I'm like, I'm doing it. And she's like, have you bought my Christmas gift yet? And I'm just like, I'm not doing it. Never mind. but maybe you're in a situation where you can spend $11 willy-nilly. And when I say is get that willy out, spend it on The Shining 4K. $11. What the fuck? That's a really good movie on 4K too. So pick that one up. But I'm sure there's more as well, Jason. Let us, Jason, if you found anything else besides that, throw it out in the chat, please. We will definitely get to it because old Jake wants to get some of those deals too. Let me tell you, if I could get in on some of that shit, that would be sick. Jake Boss is saying, I would like to get into Train to Busan, but I hate reading subtitles with a passion. Too busy reading than watching the movie and what's going on. No idea how people do it. Jake, totally fair, but this one is worth it. And there are a lot of films that are worth it too. Sometimes you got to watch a film twice too. When it comes to, reading subtitles. When it comes to movies like this, I actually like to watch them twice because, the first time I'll read the subtitles, I'll get the story. And then the second time I can really appreciate the atmosphere, the music, whatever. That's how I watched the original The Grudge for the first time. I watched it subtitles and it was so good. I loved it so much that I went back again. And it was like, I just have to appreciate this movie, no subtitles. And it's excellent. So there are some movies that are worth it. There are some movies, not so much though, which is totally fair. But Train to Busan, completely worth your time. There's an American remake coming out, but man, I'm telling you, watch this original. It's I don't think the remake's going to be better, even though no hate towards my friend. Not really my friend. He does not know of my existence probably, but Timo Gijanto is directing it, and I think that's really cool. So I wish him the best, but it's going to be tough to remake that movie is all I'm saying. Scott's been a member for 4 months. Scott, I know you've been a member for longer than that, but I really do appreciate your support, my dude. Looking forward to Thanksgiving too. Always enjoy being here, Jake. How's that hair coming? Oh, you want an update? Oh, shit. Well, you know what? Anything for my members. You guys want to see how fucking nasty my hair looks right now? It's bad. It's rough. But here you go. There, look at that. Isn't that awful? This is what I wake up to every single morning. So it's better though. It is definitely better than how it was. I got like that much, right? It's a little something coming in. But yeah, if you're like, Jake, what the hell happened to the top of your head? Jesus, you look like a hedgehog. Well, little whiles back, I made a short film for a 48-hour film festival. Now, I'd never done this before. I had no idea what I was going to be up against either. So I'm like, we got to make this something special. And we only have 48 hours to make something. So I'm like, you know what? There's always one trick up my sleeve that's that seems to work. And that trick is shaving my own fucking head. And I went and did that. I just went and did that for the short. Go see how I did it. It's called The Promotion. It is on the page currently. If you have not seen it, most people haven't seen it. Because it does not have a ton of views. What's it at right now? It's at 866 views. So, give it a watch though. Again, we made it in 48 hours. It's rough for that reason. You can't make a really finished, polished movie in 48 hours. But for what it is, it's pretty fun. So give it a watch. We even had time to color grade it, do a little bit of sound design. But check it out, give it a watch. See why I shaved my head. I put a lot of effort into that one, and it didn't get a ton of views. But check it out. So Scott, thank you for being a member, and thank you for this as well. Bringing some members into the fold here. Let's list these names out here. Let's list some of these names out. That is Wayne Turner, Lollipop Sanchez, Austin Daniels, Mark B, and Leonardo DiCaprio. One of my favorite screen names that comes around here. Welcome to the fold, everybody. Sip up on the Kool-Aid. It's just Kool-Aid, my friend. Very good stuff. Scott, thank you for your support of the page. Really does mean a lot to me. So much love, my friend. So much love, so much love. For the Love of Rock is saying Scream is in danger of becoming redundant. It really needs a Ghostface win. Them always dying. It's just lacking suspense. I agree. I think, fuck it. Let's see Ghostface win for once and leave it on a cliffhanger. Y'all want these Sidney Prescott stories. Y'all want them so bad. And you know what? If you want a good Sidney Prescott story where it doesn't feel like it's pointless, do this. I'll be real with you. If Scream 7 is a family focused movie where it's all about Sidney protecting her loved ones, her new character kids, new kid characters, whatever, her husband, whatever you want to do with it, and then it ends on a cliffhanger where Ghostface gets away, I will watch the next one. I will be invested. I'll be like, okay, fuck it, let's go, let's see what's up next. But if they have no balls and and decide to just make another movie that follows the exact same formula, I'm gonna lose my mind. Just a little bit. Jake's bra size is a C. I wish I had double D's though. God. Wish I had some I'm not going to say that. Lorenzo is saying, hey Jake, what's up, dog? How's it going? Welcome in. PNG is hanging out with us tonight too, saying, what's up, brah? And take my money. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I will spend it wisely on multiple gumballs. I promise. I will buy exactly 8 gumballs with that $2. So I will chew it thinking about you, PNG. Jousting pregnant robots, right on the money. Not. Damn it. I'll have to make another guess. What's your least favorite horror movie? Be honest, judgment-free zone. Least favorite horror movie that I'm trying to think. I could just throw out what my least favorite horror movie is, which is House Shark, and that is a bad movie. It is a genuinely bad movie, and I have an argument for why it's the worst movie ever. But you guys probably haven't seen that. You guys probably have not seen House Shark. What's the worst movie that's pretty popular that I've seen that I'm not crazy about? I mean, genuinely, in recent memory from new releases from the last couple of years or whatever. The Strangers Chapter 1. I mean, I have not seen a movie that has missed the point of what the franchise they were working in so bad as that movie. I mean, listen, Halloween Ends is one thing. I don't like Halloween Ends because it just doesn't have, I just don't love the writing. I don't love the story. That's one thing. It is still a slasher film, though, at the end of the day. It still features a guy in a mask killing people. That, to me, is that's a fucking, okay, that's a win. But, and at that, a mysterious slasher that's walking around and still has kind of a not completely determined motive. I don't think it's executed very well, but that's one thing. The Strangers Chapter 1 fundamentally misses what is so interesting about the first 2 Strangers films. It hurts. It's who made this? What? There's not too many movies that I will 100% accuse of being a cash grab, but the Strangers... The new Strangers movies, they're bad. I'm sorry, but I just absolutely no love. A 0 out of 10 for that last movie. It is my least favorite film that I've seen all year, and that goes for every genre. I've never seen a movie that has missed the point so bad in recent memory. Original 4 Batman movies from the 90s that's $40. Oh no, Jason, you gotta stop. You gotta stop right there, bro. I'm gonna spend way too much money. It's originally 92. God damn it. Batman and Robin will be used as a coaster. That's so funny. Just like Halloween Resurrection is with that other 4K box set. And Jason, this brings up another dilemma that I have with certain box sets that I want to buy. I own almost all of the Halloween movies in some sort of a good condition, good quality, whatever. I have the new ones on 4K. I have, the first 5 on 4K. But then they have this fucking box set, which the only way you can get these movies on 4K is if we're talking about Halloween 6, H2O, and Resurrection, you have to get this box set that is way too much fucking money for two movies I don't care about. Halloween 6, I have some love for. I don't completely hate it, but Halloween Resurrection, it will be used as a coaster. I completely agree. I want the 4K of H2O. If I could just buy that for like $25, I would do it. But you have to buy this fucking box set. So I'm on the fence. I don't know if I should just pull the trigger on it or not, but I want the H2O 4K set because they actually fix up the shitty CGI mask a little bit. And, you know, again, this is me being such a fucking dork. That's what this is. This is me being an unbelievable dork. But I just want to see that scan and see like a better looking version of H2O because it's a film I really enjoy, but it has some mistakes. It's got some shit about it where I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know if that's the best they could have done. But I would love to see that 4K scan where I guess they cleaned it up a lot. At least that's what I've heard from other people who have watched it. I don't know. One day I'm going to decide to waste $60 or $70 of my own money on that, but today's just not that day. Wayne Turner is saying one of my favorite movies of the year is Kill in Hindi, hardcore violent actioneer, die hard on a train with the gore of Terrifier 3. That sounds right up my alley. I'm all about that. Action movies with crazy gore is such an underrated, overlooked genre that I don't see much love for. I don't know. I could get 100 more of those movies. I love flicks like that. I've heard Damien Leone throw some love that way towards like some of like the 80s and 70s like super gory action flicks. I would love more of those. That would be a ton of fun. But yeah, okay. I'll have to check that one out. Kill in Hindi. Rock on. Kill Hair Jake. Yes, that's funny. It's bad. It's rough. Jake looks like Jonathan from Terrifier with the hair. Ooh, do I? Shit. See, that would be a good cosplay. There we go. Yeah, I got a little something going on. You know, it's like a little more longer, a little longer, and then we're getting there. So, the Chipotle hat stays on for another couple of months. Scott says he loves it. It looks cool. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. I might do long hair next. You know, I've shaved my head so many times. Fuck it. Let's take it to the next step. Let's just go long hair, Jake. Albany Saratoga Media Collector, what's up, fella? What's up for the convo tonight? House Shark as bad as Cheerleader Massacre. I have not seen Cheerleader Massacre, but House Shark made me want to rip out my fucking eyes. So that's what I'll say. House Shark is a parody of Jaws that is in a house, and it's like over 2 hours long. It's bad. It is a bad film. A swing and a miss is what I'll call it. Infinite Sky, also a member. Thank you so much. Aw, damn, I missed you answering my question about Terrifier 2's gruesome opening kill. Well, it fucking rocks. To sum it up, I love the opening kill of Terrifier 2. It brings, again, I'm not going to go through the whole rant again for those who have been here the whole time, but what I'll say is I love the opening scene because it brings you back to that feeling you had at the end of the first movie of like, that was the most gruesome, awful shit I've ever seen. Holy fuck. And now we're seeing this shit. Like, this is great. You know, this is maybe upping it. We're seeing that this fucker is not dead yet. He's still going after more people. There are going to be more victims of Art the Clown. And I love it. I really do love the opening scene a lot. It's one of my favorite parts of the whole film. Humanizes Art the Clown, introduces the little pale girl. Lots of great stuff in that opening. Can't be worse than Imaginary. Bro, Imaginary is a masterpiece compared to House Shark. I'm going to go that far. Nightmare 6 is the worst that you've seen, like, from respective franchises. Fair. Freddy's Dead is so bad it's good for me. Like, I fucking crack up every single time I watch that movie. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. It's not good, but I think it's hilarious. Jeepers Creepers Reborn, another great choice from both For the Love of Rock and Wayne Turner here. Both bad, like, just bad movies in their own respective kind of beloved franchises, you know. Jeepers Creepers, tough to call that a beloved franchise these days, but Reborn, it's bad. Whew. I love Dead Alive, Jet. That is an excellent film. Oh, Dead Alive got brought up on the last stream. That's crazy. I love Dead Alive. A lot of Peter Jackson's early like splatter work is so good. So good. Jagman is saying, what is your favorite VHS movie, Jake? That's a really tough one. There's a lot of great VHS movies. And you know, that's especially tough after Beyond comes out this year. And I mean, it might be the best sequel. I'm going to be totally real. VHS Beyond rocked. I'm really trying to think here. What's the best one? VHS 94 is probably my favorite. And I say that because there's two skits in that one that are like my all-time, probably my all-time favorite VHS skits. It's the very first one, the very last one, which I just love those. The more I watch them, the more I'm like, these are my favorite from the VHS franchise. Wow, these are so good. But I'm really trying to think, like, is there one that I like more than VHS 94? A lot of people are like, VHS 2 is the best one without question. And I love VHS 2. It rocks. That is also one that has two of the best segments. But VHS 2 has like one that I just think is crazy overrated that I don't like. And it's the very first one, where they're basically doing the Eye, but like it's just like it's a sleazy version of the Eye. I don't know. I just don't like that segment. It's not for me personally, but it does have some good scares here and there, but I just don't like that segment. It's like kind of a major downer. I don't love the wraparounds in the first two VHS flicks either. I think the wraparounds are done much better in subsequent sequels. Like VHS Beyond has one of the best wraparounds of the entire franchise. VHS Viral, that's another one with a bad wraparound. But yeah, Storm Drain and Terror are like, those are in my top three VHS segments. I love them both so much. They're insane. Terror is just like, Terror is watching this incompetent group try to pull off this insane, like, I don't want to say if you haven't seen it, but they're pulling off this insane scheme that's kind of nonsensical, and you just see their incompetence rise as the movie goes on, and they are dealing with something that they don't even realize how powerful it is, and it is so interesting. And I don't know, Terror, crazy underrated VHS segment. I believe that was who did that? Ryan Prose, is that his name? The director of that one. An excellent VHS segment. Really good one. But all four of the new VHS movies I've really enjoyed. There are definitely some that are better than others. I think 94 and beyond are better than 99 and 85. But dude, 99 and 85 both have some fucking top tier segments in them. So the last four VHS films have been excellent. I don't know. I could go on and on and on and on about how much I love this rebirth of the franchise. And one last thing on the note of VHS, we are getting another one next year, and your boy will be covering it. They've run out of subtitles, and they're just calling it VHS 8 as of right now, too, which I think is really funny. But I can't wait. They could just keep making these movies forever and onwards, and I will watch them because they are always so good and so much fun. So even VHS Viral, like even though it's bad, it's like that was still a ton of fun. Like I still had fun watching this bad movie. Rock on. If you can consistently make fun movies, I'm here for it. The Frighteners is a great Peter Jackson movie. A lot of people love this movie. Much respect. It's got a great cast. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was. It very much so feels like Peter Jackson's take on like The Burbs or like an 80s horror comedy is kind of how it feels to me. And it's got some great elements to it. Excuse me, but I don't, for whatever reason, I just could not get into The Frighteners the two times I've tried to watch it. But a lot of people love this one, and I love Peter Jackson. So I will say, maybe I should give this one another chance. Is Terrifier 3 still in theaters? I don't think so, but it was in theaters last week and a half ago. So I will say that, but I don't think so. I don't think it's in theaters maybe. I know it's still playing in different countries. I don't think it's playing here in the States anymore. I could be wrong though, but I think I just checked and it wasn't there anymore. Because I was actually looking to go see it again, and I saw that like Smile 2 was on the out, and I think that pretty much confirms Terrifier 3 is done. Is The Substance any good? Should I give it a watch? Yes, it's so good. Oh my god, if you like body horror, this is a must watch. See it. Great stuff. Oh my god, Yurdy G. This is your 20th super chat is what YouTube is telling me, which is crazy. So thank you for supporting the page 20 times now. That's crazy. What's up? New album on the way. Hell yeah. Love some Yurdy G music. But let's talk about Fear Street Prom Queen. Ooh. This is one we've yet to talk about like at all on the page, I think. So here's what's nuts about this movie to me, and why it's always going to have like a bit of an asterisk next to it, like a bit of a I wish this could have been this, but it's not. It was supposed to be directed by Chloe Okuno, who I'm just a big fan of. Speaking of VHS, she was the director of Storm Drain, which is of course the Ratma segment, Hail Ratma, which I want to get back to Larm here. Hail Ratma. Fuck yeah. I love her work a bunch. She has a bunch of killer short films. I really enjoyed her feature Watcher. And I can't wait to see whatever the fuck she does next. But she does. I think she got replaced as a director on this project, if I'm not mistaken, and now it's being helmed by somebody else entirely. But I'm still excited to see what this one is all about. It's unlike the last three that were like a trilogy, one long story. This is just a standalone in the same universe, and I'm excited to see what that's gonna end up being about. It's gonna be a little closer to the book, is also what I'm hearing too. And it sounds like it's going to be basically Prom Night, but modern. And I'm totally down for that. Like, that sounds like a ton of fun to me. Prom Night, crazy underrated slasher film. Ton of fun with that. That one's a ton of fun all the time. But I'm excited to see what this one's all about. I really enjoyed the Fear Street movies. I will say I have yet to have a reason to revisit them though. I don't know. I remember them fondly, though. I do remember a lot of good kills and crazy character moments from the first two in particular. I don't remember much from the last one, like, at all. I remember it's all the same characters, but it's like 1666. And I was almost like kind of confused. I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, what's the point? It kind of felt like a filler movie. But the ending of 1666 was sick because it like flash forwarded to the back to 1994, and we got some crazier stories there. But Prom Queen, they're doing a lot of cool marketing for this movie too. Very retro looking shit. It looks like it's gonna be fun. And if it has a banging soundtrack like 94, I'm down for it. The music in 94 was so good. Oh my god. Whew. Fear Street 1994 banger. That was definitely my favorite from the three. I know 78 was like most people's favorites, but this one, 94, that was just a ton of fun. Some really good kills, some shocking kills, I should say, and a great soundtrack. Really vibrant look to it, which I like too. But I'm hoping Prom Queen can be even better. I think there's room for improvement. Hot take. I think they can make these movies even better. And I'm hoping Prom Queen is exactly that. They're working with a fresh story, so I think that's a possibility. I'm here for it. But Yurdy G, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you a bunch. Thank you so much for your support. I can't wait to see you at GullGotha too next year. It's gonna be fun. I believe that's in Cincinnati too. I'm one of the guests at GullGotha. It's a what is it? It's a horror convention for horror creators, which is so cool. And I get to be one of the guests. I'm honored. I'm absolutely honored to be going to that. It's going to be fun. Jose is saying, in your opinion, was Terrifier 3 better than Terrifier 2? This is a tough question to answer because in many ways, yes. I think Terrifier 3, they clearly had more money. And for that, I think the sets, the characters and actors and all that across the board were better than Terrifier 2. The effects, the kills, better than Terrifier 2. But there's a certain vibe about Terrifier 2, in my opinion, that Terrifier 3 lost. And I think what that is, and I'm very much so in the minority with this one. I've spoken with a few other content creators who totally disagree with me, and I respect it, respect the opinion. Terrifier 3 rocks in so many different ways. But Terrifier 2, to me, feels like a bunch of like kids trying to scrap together the best horror movie they can make with a minimal budget. And what they did with Terrifier 2 is truly something special. It is a bunch of people working their asses off to make a horror hit. And you can feel that in every single sequence and every single shot, in the performances from the actors. Terrifier 3 feels like the victory lap of Terrifier 2. It feels like we made Terrifier 2 and here's the next movie. You guys like this shit and we know it. I think what I love so much about Terrifier 2 is that they didn't know we loved Art the Clown so much. And for that reason, it just feels like they put a little extra oomph into that one for whatever reason. Terrifier 3, there was still a lot of hard work that went into this movie. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. But there's just a certain energy and flavor about Terrifier 2 that I just simply prefer over Terrifier 3. I will say, yes, there are multiple elements to T3 that are better than Terrifier 2, but I love that scrappiness of the sequel. I love we are doing everything we possibly can to make this the best it can possibly be so that people latch onto this and people recognize Art the Clown as a bigger horror icon. And to me, that's what I just love about the sequel so much. I think that's what makes Terrifier 2 my favorite sequel in the whole franchise. And probably for forever. Terrifier is just at a certain level at a certain point right now, and it'll always be that moving forward. And I'm okay with that because it's still very good. And Terrifier 3 still an excellent product. But I just love the energy behind Terrifier 2, the indie elements to it where Terrifier 3 just feels like a little more of a big studio film. And I'm expecting Terrifier 4 to lean a little more, even farther into that, which, again, this is not something that I'm faulting the Terrifier crew for. They earned this, frankly. They earned the right to lean into that a bit. But I guess I love what Terrifier 2 was able to bring to the table that Terrifier 3 just ever so slightly lacked, you know? And that is so important to me, which I know people are like, Jake, you just listed like 100 other things that are better than Terrifier 2. But that energy is what I live for that. That's why I love covering indie horror movies. That energy of like, we are trying to make this the best it can be so it can be a hit. That to me, that speaks to me, that gives me energy, that gives me life. And I love that about Terrifier 2 so much. So Terrifier 3 fucking rocks though. And it is like, I mean, if we're ranking these movies, they are neck and neck for first place, in my opinion. But I just ever so slightly prefer the sequel, I think. Jake, have you watched Southbound? Yes, I really like Southbound. And as a big VHS fan, I really enjoy it because it kind of feels like Radio Silence just kind of making their own VHS opposed to just like one segment, you know? And it's really fun for that reason. It's also, there's a bit of a twist with it too, which I won't say if you haven't seen it, but it kind of makes it special, makes it something fresh, its own thing. There's really only one segment I wasn't like super crazy about with it too, but Southbound totally rocks, really freaky. It's less fun than VHS. It's a little more like atmospheric and dreadful, but I enjoy that. It's a different flavor. That's not a bad thing. You know, you don't want to just make another film that's exactly VHS. That's no fun. Then you're just a copycat. But Southbound stands on its own on its own two legs for trying something else out, being its own thing, being special. Christopher Collins is hanging out with us tonight. What's up, CC? Saying, do you want Terrifier to end with the 4th or a 5th installment? I think I'd like a 5th. I think I would like 2 movies too, because we have Damien Leone talking about all these set pieces he wants to throw Art the Clown at. I want to see all these set pieces, man. I would hate for him to get like stubbed, you know, where he's like, oh, I got to cut this out. Oh, I can't do this now. That would suck. That would totally bum me out. So no, I really do hope we get a 5th, and I hope that Art the Clown, we get to see all these set pieces that Damien has in mind. Without spoiling someone, can someone describe the plot of The Substance? So basically you have Demi Moore playing this aging starlet named Elizabeth Sparkle, and she's losing her sparkle. I believe she just turns 50 at the beginning of the movie, and like she gets like fired from her job. So she acquires this thing called The Substance, which is said to turn that will make her beautiful again, and people will like her again, kind of thing. And then the horror follows. That's all I'll say. But watch The Substance. I don't want to say any more than that. It is it's genuinely a top 10 body horror film of all time. Like I feel very confident in saying that too. It's terrifying. It is one of the most iconic shots in horror history, I think, too, which I don't even care. Make fun of me. I don't care. That the scene of the back, that's all I'm going to say, is iconic. That shit will stick with me for life. But the Substance, it's a modern horror classic in the making, where we're going to be talking about this one 20 years from now. Very weird, vague memory watching that movie on HBO early 90s. I'm curious what movie. We've been talking about a lot of movies. The Burbs? I brought up The Burbs. What do you think of an American Psycho comic and Scream crossover? I only say that because it's him and his daughter. Imagine them being targeted by a cult of Ghostface because they're. Am I reading this wrong? What do you think of an American Psycho comic and Scream crossover? I only say that because it's him and his daughter. You're considering the sequel canon. I don't consider it canon at all, which is very funny. Imagine they're being targeted by a cult of Ghostface because they're dirty. The record is like 2 verses. Okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. That's tough to say. That's tough. That's tough to. I don't know. Those are so different in my mind. You know, like Scream. I see the connection though, right? American Psycho is more like commentary on like like yuppie-dom culture from like the 80s, where Scream is more commentary on like meta horror stuff. So I could see a crossover. I could see that maybe crossing over. You would need a crazy brainchild for that, though, is what I'll say, to make that work. I don't know. American Psycho, there's this full story with it that we've only really gotten a taste of in that movie from 2000. I'd love to see like a full on like Luca Guadagnino is said to be doing a new version of American Psycho. I kind of want to see like just a more fleshed out version of that original novel where the movie obviously cuts out a lot of different things. But if we can dive into some of those other aspects to it, that would make it really fresh. There is a lot of story stuff that if you've only ever seen the original movie, there's so much more from various different books that feature the character of Patrick Bateman. I would love to see more from that. I don't know if we need a Scream crossover though, but I see where you're coming from though. There's a connection there. There's some similar setups here. Murder, commentary, similar franchises, but very different at the same time. The Substance is about hating yourself for not being good enough, I suppose. Yeah. The Substance is it's very much so like how we view ourselves and how that can be so negative despite what we how we actually come off. Like Demi Moore is gorgeous for she's just a gorgeous woman. And she is older though, and I think society views older women a certain negative light that this movie commented on. And I think that's really interesting because you look at someone like Demi Moore and it's like she's beautiful, but in the movie she doesn't feel that way about herself, and it's like wow, that's really relatable. That's sometimes we can feel like that too. We can look in the mirror and be like, I just don't like the way I look, or this, that, whatever. I don't like this aspect to myself. But I think if there's any grander message to the film, it is something positive. It's to learn to love yourself, because you don't have to change the way you look in order for you to feel that way. You don't need the substance. You don't need this green magical goo to change you into Margaret Qualley. So I don't know. There's a lot to be said about the commentary in The Substance. That's one I'd love to do a deep dive on after I get like some kind of set of it, some kind of physical release, because I would love to see some behind the scenes shit. I'd love to see some more interviews with the director before I really do a bigger deep dive into that one. What else? Ooh, that's interesting. It's the Frank Henenlotter effect, bigger budget and a bit less heart. That's an interesting way to put it. I think that's who you're talking about, right? Frank Henenlotter. That's Henenloper is what you said, but I'm imagining you're talking about the basket case guy. I'm not sure though. Not 100% on that one. Jagman is saying, I've seen Southbound. If you watch it 2 times, you will get it. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, if you just keep going through the loop. It's a very fun film. Really enjoyed that one. Very, very thought provoking. Whenever people say radio silence, they're not creative, they're not good writers, I'm like, watch Southbound. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You just don't like their Scream movies because they're modern. Like, they're excellent writers, they're excellent creatives. You just haven't seen their early work, I should say. And again, had that going back to that victory lap conversation. I think there's a lot of movies in certain directors and certain creatives' careers where you can look at a film as like, that was a victory lap. That was them saying, yeah, you guys like this. We're confident. We're coming off a little cocky. To me, not only is Scream 5 and 6 that for radio silence, it's also kind of like a big breakout for them as well. They were, like underground success movies every now and then. They weren't really a big name or recognizable. So they weren't super recognizable in the face of horror, before like Ready or Not came out, but they had made some movies that were really, popular and people liked them. But then, Ready or Not comes out, they're a little more of a household name. Then they get Scream, and it's like everyone knows who these guys are. So of course they're up to public scrutiny too. But I don't know. Radio silence gets so much hate for those movies that is so undeserved. Like, their movies fucking rock, in my opinion. But that's okay. I'll be alone in that opinion, because I know so many people are like, radio silence is bad, Abigail was bad, that's why it flopped, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I enjoy their movies though. Some very good stuff from them. And opinions on the Silent Night Deadly Night franchise. It is an interesting franchise, man. Let me tell you, that's one that I could do probably an hour-long video essay on what the fuck happened to this franchise. I love the first one. Genuinely a really good underrated slasher film. That's simple. It's simple. It's nothing too overly complicated at all. It's just a kid who, was told to fear Santa, and then he turns into Santa and starts killing people, and he's screaming punish the whole time. It's awesome. It's a simple Santa killer movie. You know what I mean? It's nothing too overly complex. It's got some great kills, some memorable moments. It's cool. The sequel starts to get fucking weird. It's like garbage day. You get all that shit. It starts to get really campy. If the first one's a little campy and a little funny, the sequel is like, let's just throw that out the fucking window. 3 doesn't make a lick of sense. 4 is about fucking death worms or some bullshit. 5 is about a toy maker that makes a Santa guy dressed up as an evil toy man. The loose, horrible definitions of these sequels. And then there's an awesome remake called Silent Night from like 2012, which was made by the same guy who's making the upcoming Werewolves film. So it's a bizarre franchise. We have a new one on the horizon, apparently, which I would love to interview. What is his name? Stephen C. Miller, that directed the Silent Night remake, I think. Would love to interview that guy. I just got a screener for that movie. I haven't watched it yet, so I not only can I not express an opinion on it, I have not seen it, Werewolves, but I'm excited to check it out, see what this movie's all about. That's his new film, which is so cool. Would love to have that guy on the channel though, because I kind of want to talk with him about the 2012 Silent Night. I really appreciate it. I think it's a really interesting movie, and a really cool new take, somewhat new take. It's from like 2012, right? But I would love to ask him about, like, if I could ask the guy a question, like during an interview, I'd be like, what would you give the new guy? What advice would you give to a newcomer to the franchise? Considering how weird this franchise is, you know what I mean? It's bizarre. It's all over the place. The sequels are fucking crazy. I would love to ask his opinion on that for sure, just to see what he would say. But anyways, I went to the substance after just reading the synopsis. Yes, Jet. I saw the trailer before Longlegs, and I'm not going to lie, I think I enjoyed that trailer more than I enjoyed Longlegs. The trailer for this movie sucks you in, man. It is hypnotic. I don't know, there's something about it. It's really cool. Jake Boss is saying, sometime in a past stream, someone mentioned an American Psycho remake movie in the future. I have no idea why, but I immediately thought of a Matt Bomer playing... Matt Borner? Who is that? Matt Bomer playing, I don't know who that is. Sounds like his name is Matt Boner. God, I'm so funny. Hang on, why do I not know this name? Oh, okay. I could totally see him playing Patrick Bateman though. I see it in the face for sure. He was in Magic Mike. Excellent, some excellent films there. He's on Doom Patrol, which Doom Patrol is a lot of fun. Never finished that, but I heard it was good. I don't know much about that. I don't think I've seen this actor in anything. I've seen a little bit of Doom Patrol, and I couldn't even name who he was. He looks the part, though. I totally see what you're saying there, Jake. That's an excellent cast decision. Jake, have you seen the Death Note anime? I have. I really enjoy it. I'm not... I dabble in anime. That sounds so dorky. I watch a little bit of anime from time to time. I still have not finished Attack on Titan, even though I've seen most of it. I can't believe I never finished that one. But I have watched all of Death Note, and it is excellent. I think it's like, going back on it, there are some things I would change. Like there's a certain character that doesn't make it through the whole show that I'm like, he was dude, that character is the best part of the show, and if you've seen it, you definitely know what I'm talking about. But I think Death Note, it's still excellent. Like I would still totally recommend the whole damn thing because it is such an interesting story. And I'd love to do something with that concept one day. The idea of having like that unimaginable power against a great mind, it's such a great dynamic between the two characters. I don't know. I love this show a bunch. Really, really good stuff there. Legion also just became a member too. Thank you so much, Legion. Really do appreciate your support. It means a bunch. Thank you. Felix, coming back to the Chucky commentary here, saying, honestly, I'm not excited for Don Mancini's Mute Chucky movie. Mute Chucky? What do you mean by Mute Chucky? I'm curious. I lost complete faith in him after Seed and so on. P.S. Tom Holland is the real creator of Chucky. So you just don't like Don Mancini is what you're saying. Felix, this is a really interesting take. I'd love to talk with you a little bit about all this. That'd be interesting. Because from my understanding, I've always just thought Don Mancini was kind of the one that I mean, I'm pretty sure he is, but I'm curious what your take is on all that. That's interesting. I mean, I know Tom Holland was the director, not the Tom Holland, the director. I know he directed that first Child's Play. I don't know anything about this though. I'm curious where you're coming from on all that. Would you pick up The Notebook? Would I pick up The Death Note? Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I would totally pick up the I would totally pick up The Death Note. Maybe that makes me sound fucking crazy, but yeah. Have you seen Elevation? Not really a horror movie, but very suspenseful. I really enjoyed it. Stars, I know that name. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but I know that name. And Anthony Mackie. Love Anthony Mackie. Marina Baccarin. There we go. I tried to pronounce it, and I probably wrong. What is she in? The Deadpool's girlfriend. Yeah, okay, yeah. She rocks. She's awesome. Really good part of those first two movies. And I just don't concern myself with the third one. But yeah, I'll have to check this one out. Okay, Elevation. I'm going to have to give that a watch. Interesting. I love that actor. I love both those actors and actresses. So, Cosmic Urgency is saying Tom Holland is who changed it so Chucky was a serial killer possessing a doll. Mancini's original version was more like the remake. It was the kid's dark side working through the doll. So that's kind of why some of us give Tom Holland the credit for Chucky. That's interesting. I actually didn't know that, Cosmic Urgency or Felix. I'll have to look into that. That's interesting to me. That's what I really like about the original Chucky too, is you get into that one and it doesn't start the way you would think a killer doll movie would start, right? It's a killer getting chased by a cop. It's like, what? That's not what I was, you put on Child's Play, killer doll on the cover. That's not what you would expect. The setup to Chucky is what draws me in. Initially, that's the love of it. You start off with this. I guess you could call it a Hitchcock bomb, right? Where you just have the Chucky doll enter this house through a series of events. The family not know. There's the dramatic irony of the family not knowing, but the audience saw that opening scene. That to me is what is so thought-provoking about it. So many other killer doll movies are just like, the kid gets a doll, and you know it's going to do spooky stuff because the name of the movie is something about dolls and spooky shit. But Child's Play to me is set up in a much better way, which is why I think it was the hit it was. On top of the great performances in that movie, holy shit, Brad Dourif's voice in that movie is like genuinely so scary, and of course it's a little funny too because Chucky's hilarious, but. That's it. I genuinely didn't know that about that movie. I'll have to. That's another one. That's another series I would love to do a deep dive into. I'm telling you guys this right now on Killjoy Jake Retro. I'm not talking about Terrifier and Scream. I do that here enough. I do that on this channel enough. The whole point of Killjoy Jake Retro is to talk about other horror flicks. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in a box on this channel. Unfortunately, I love Terrifier. I love Scream. Excellent franchises, probably some of my favorites. But there's other stuff to talk about, frankly. There's other great stuff that deserves deep dives and big video essays that I would love to get into, that I love and would love to share a unique perspective on. So I would love to get into this franchise at some point, maybe before a new movie comes out. I'll do a deep dive, try to learn a little more about this because that's fascinating to know that was Tom Holland who originated that, and obviously Don Mancini has built a whole fucking career off of. So that's fascinating. That's really fascinating to me. Did you know the mom from Arrested Development was the original voice of Chucky? You know what? I did know about some of the other choices. I know Brad Dourif was not the first. I don't know if I knew that in particular, but I remember reading that Brad Dourif was not going to voice the doll. He was just going to play the killer in the opening. But his voice is too iconic. I mean, come on now. I didn't know that though. That's really cool. Arrested Development. I bring up that show all the time. That was so ahead of its time. That's such a ahead of its time show, man. I love that one to death. There's always money in the banana stand. That's all I'm going to say. Do you think Jamie would team up with Richie, or do you think they would have something in fighting with each other for who is in charge? I love the question, Legion. For those who don't know, Jamie was my ghost face in Red Right Hand, the Scream fan film we made back in 2022. And it takes place in between Screams 4 and 5. And the idea of the film, like the big twist at the end, was that Jamie kind kind of was like the one to bring Richie and Amber together essentially, and be the guy that kind of gave them the idea of anyone can be a Ghostface, which I think kind of, leads into Scream 5. I really liked Scream 5 when I was writing that movie, if you if you couldn't tell. But yeah, no, I think that, yeah, if Jamie had lived, I think, yeah, he probably would have been pissed at Richie. He probably would have been like, this guy's stealing my fucking thunder. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one, I'm the internet ghost face. You know what I mean? Fuck you. And that's the hypocrisy of Jamie, is that he doesn't even realize that the stab movies have happened IRL. That's why you have this conversation between him and his partner, where they're talking a little bit about the stab movies, and he believes they're fiction, right? So he's like, oh, I'll do it in real life. And the commentary there is that a lot of people won't do the research on movies that they love. You know what I mean? They won't actually get those informed opinions. And Jamie, I try to make the character based on a lot of comments I had gotten when I first started the page, who like were from people that were just complete, like just the craziest comment, the craziest negative comments, where I'm like, that's not right. And you said it so confidently and loud. Jamie is the definition of wrong, but confident and loud. So that was the whole impetus behind the character, was that he was supposed to be so unbelievably wrong, so factually wrong the entire time, yet he didn't care to look up any of the actual shit that was going on and just decided to go along with it, which I think is something that is very, very relevant in today's world, unfortunately. But I think that's what I love so much about Jamie as a character, and that's why I really wanted to tell that story. Is it the most well-written Scream fan film? No, not at all. I did not know how to write when I wrote that film, but I had the idea of the character, and I really wanted to give a story to him. So I'm glad that I was able to make it. So no, I don't think he would want to team up with Richie. I think he just, like his partner in the film, he just uses as a fucking side piece, really, to make his things happen. He doesn't really care. He only cares about himself. Jamie's a piece of shit. and that's why we love watching him go through the comedy of errors that is Red Right Hand. But I think it's a fun film for what it is, and I had a ton of fun making it. So I'm excited for you guys to see what else we're cooking up behind the scenes, some original stuff. It's going to be a blast. Jake, I found a GIMP sightings map. I'm all good on all that. That scares me. I wish people cared about Thanksgiving. I want Thanksgiving 2 news. We should be getting something soon, man. From what I've heard is that they have, they're starting to get to filming. Something's getting going. It is like a smaller slasher. The last one didn't make like a ton of money. I think it only made like 45 million. It's not like a new Scream movie where it's like, we're going to cover the fuck out of this thing, right? But I think Thanksgiving 2, it'll get a little more press, might have a little more buzz about it. And if it's good, I think it could make even more money. So I really hope so too, because that first Thanksgiving rocked. I like the first, and I know this is sacrilege, but I think I like the first Thanksgiving more than I like the last 2 Scream films. But we'll see. We'll just have to see what ends up happening with this one. But hopefully we get some news soon. And Felix, I love the Starship Troopers movies. The original Starship Troopers is one of my favorite films ever. I think it is excellent. Because I won't say, if you haven't seen it, it's one of those movies that is making you think something is going on the entire time when really that's not the case. It is, and when you really sit down and critically analyze it, you're like, I should not have been, that was the wrong emotion to be feeling there, but the movie made me feel that way. And I think it's a really good test of how mood and atmosphere and music can completely misguide you into feeling a certain way about something when a story is just set up in a different light, and you shouldn't be feeling that way. And I don't know. To me, Starship Troopers, it's genius. It's a genius movie, and the sequels are whatever. the fact that are there sequels, I don't even know. I don't even care. The first one, that's all I need. Love the first Starship Troopers. It's excellent. But I almost feel like the sequels like didn't get why the first movie is so great. Like they were just like, let's just keep doing that. Let's keep telling stories about these these soldiers. They're great guys. That's definitely what's happening here. It's a really interesting film. I don't know. I fucking love it. I can see Jake on a flying dolly holding a camera doing an Evil Dead shot. That would be so much fun. I'm kind of done with fan films. I'm going to be honest, but if I could do another fan film, like if there was one that like I would totally set aside time and money for, it would be an Evil Dead fan film. I would, fucking, if someone was like, Jake, we have like $35,000, make a 25-minute Evil Dead short film, I would be like, okay. Oh, I will drop everything I'm doing to do that because I love Evil Dead so much. It hurts how much I love this franchise. Give me more Evil Dead movies. We have 2 on the horizon, apparently. Holy fuck, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, folks, it's been 2 hours, and that's usually Jake's cutoff time because I got to get some sleep. It's going to be a long week. Got a big video coming out on Wednesday. It's a Thanksgiving deep dive. The movie Thanksgiving from Eli Roth. We're doing a big deep dive over on my new page, Killjoy Jake Retro. Go check it out. Go subscribe. Get us we're almost at 300 subscribers over there. It's growing fast. It's crazy. I'm really thankful for you guys for supporting that page. But check out that video. Hopefully it comes out Wednesday. That's the goal at least. So go check, again, go subscribe. Check that out on Wednesday. We'll be live on Wednesday here too, watching The Descent from 2005. An excellent horror film, which if you have not seen, is very much so worth the watch. You can watch it on a bunch of different streaming platforms, whatever. You can rent it, own it, buy it, whatever you want to do. Watch it with me on Wednesday night. And then, of course, we'll be live Friday night as well. I don't know if I'll have any videos out this week. I'm going to be honest. I am pretty slammed with the other channels, but if there's some big news, of course, I will get to talking a little bit about it. And we do have a little bit of Scream 7 news that I kind of obviously covered in the last 2 hours, but I don't know if I'm going to make a whole video about it. I just don't, if I don't have like this long ass video to make, I just don't know if I'm going to do it at this point. So, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Again, come watch The Descent with us on Wednesday night. That's going to be the next movie I cover on Killjoy Jake Retro. So get a fresh watch on it. You know what I mean? Get a fresh rewatch, and then you can check that out. Watch the new video over on Killjoy Jake Retro. It'll be a good time. But I really do appreciate you all for hanging out, supporting the channel tonight, being here. So much love. Sorry about the Midwestern goodbye. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Peace out.